The Common Council meeting to order on September 21st at 4:41 p.m. Roll call has been taken. All other persons are present except for Mr. Kellogg and Mr. Kubishak, who are excused. First item of business is pledge allegiance and a silent prayer.
The flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item is a business is to discuss and consider trick-or-treating options. I think Mr. Aom and I heard Mr. Aom at the end of the last meeting thought it'd be appropriate for us to take this up, and I was thinking maybe we should do it sooner than later, so put it on tonight. I guess since then, you can let me know your thoughts, but we really don't have an ordinance or anything that really governs trick-or-treating. We have a policy that kind of dictates what the norm would be, so we're all trick-or-treating in same time and same day. Outside of that, what are your wishes and thoughts?
I'd like to speak.
Go ahead.
So as we did with the aquatic center, and I've got some feedback on this already, I think we should leave it up to personal choice of people who want to give out candy and folks who do want to go out and trick or treat. So, and I agree with that, and that's where I stand.
Yeah, I have to agree that this is one option where you can just choose to leave your light off if you choose not to want to participate.
You want to put me in the queue?
Who's me?
Joe, sorry.
Joe? Well, you're up next.
Oh, well, I agree with Jake. It's a personal choice, just like going anywhere or making any appointments. Hopefully, people do recognize that there's still, the pandemic going on and everything, and cases are, not, there's 600 some, I think, for the county right now. But there are options. You can still have trick-or-treating, contact lists, setting it outside on your step. I know a lot of people do that if they're not going to be home. Things like that. I agree, though, we should leave it up to the individual, or the parents of the individuals, rather.
Thank you, Mr. Zerflu. Mr. Benjamin?
Yeah, I'd just like to concur with what the previous alderman had said. I'm completely about personal choice on this matter.
I guess anybody else have any thoughts, or I don't know if we need a motion. I don't know. Anyone? Yeah, we don't have to do anything. Leave it as is. I believe the policy is our trick-or-treating is held on October 31st, no matter what day of the week. And the times are 4 to 7, or it's or 5 to 7.
Either 4 to 6 or,
I think it's
is it 5 to 7? Okay.
I think it's 5 to 7.
I
Yeah.
have it written down, I just don't have it here.
So if nobody wants to take any action, we can move right along.
I agree with the rest, but with that being said, we also have another council meeting between now and then, that if something were to happen, we have time to take action, correct?
Correct.
All right, thank you.
Anyone have anything further they'd like to add? All right. Seeing none, then we'll consider for adoption the act, and sorry, I'll put on my glasses. Consider for adoption the action of the Planning Commission at its meeting held on September 21st. Mr. Kearns?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Bear with me here. I just tried to populate and take these minutes earlier, and thank you also, Council, for attending this special meeting. I know the two applicants would like to get in the ground before the snow flies, and so being able to move in September. is a lot better than late October. With that being said, the Planning Commission met at 4 PM on September 21st, 2020, in the council chambers at City Hall and via video conferencing. Members present can be looked up in the Community Development Department. The meeting was called to order at 4 PM. The first item was approval of the reports from the August 3rd, 2020 Plan Commission meeting. There was a motion made by Hanson, seconded by Bemke, to approve the report from the August 3rd, 2020 Plan Commission meeting. Motion carried 6-0. Item number 2 was Plan 200757, Heartland Custom Homes, public hearing and action for a conditional use permit to construct a hangar at Southwood County Airport, Alexander Field, 3611 First Street South, parcel is identified. The public hearing was called to order at 4:02. The applicant from Heartland Custom Homes made himself available for questions. Tom Rayom also had a question. Gentleman James Rockwood also had a question. And Susan Faith had a few questions, and Dan Hansen had a few questions. Those were all discussed in further detail. Nobody spoke in favor, and nobody spoke against. The public hearing closed at 4:05 PM. There was a motion made by Bemke, seconded by Hansen, to approve Plan 200757, Heartland Custom Homes, Inc., public hearing action for a conditional use permit to construct a hangar at Southwood County Airport, Alexander Field, 3611 First Street South, parcel identified, with the condition that staff, community development staff, shall have the authority to review and approve minor changes to the plan. Motion was carried 6-0. Item number 3. Plan 200756, Connexus Credit Union request for a site plan review to construct an off-site parking lot at 1960 7th Street South, parcel identified. There was a motion by Faith, seconded by Burkhart, to approve Plan 200756, Connexus Credit Union request for site plan review to construct an off-site parking lot at 1960 7th Street South, parcel number identified, with the conditions as follows. A lighting plan shall be submitted for review and approval by the Community Development Department. The Engineering Department shall review and approve the proposed stormwater and ingress/egress components of the plan. The applicant shall submit an updated landscaping plan meeting applicable street frontage and buffer yard landscaping requirements, to be reviewed and approved by the Community Development Department. Lastly, Community Development staff shall have the authority to approve minor modifications to the plan. That motion was carried 6-0. Item 4 was adjournment. Motion by Bemke, seconded by Blazer to adjourn. Motion carried 6-0. Meeting adjourned at 4:26 PM.
Thank you, Mr. Kearns. What are your wishes?
I move to adopt the actions of the Planning Commission from the meeting held earlier today.
Thank you. We have a second by Bemke. Mr. Rayom.
Thank you, and I guess just a follow-up on my question I had at the meeting, that's, if it went to Airport Commission, I guess it did, was it, and I get, then as discussion went on in the Planning Commission, it was mentioned about storing materials. Was that brought up at the Planning, Airport Commission too? And I guess what type of, or what, is it building materials, or what are they talking about when it's materials?
In the hangar?
Yeah, I heard that mentioned, maybe I missed it,
I don't recall.
or misunderstood it.
I don't recall anything about storage of materials. Do you know anything, Kyle?
I don't recall. I
Okay.
haven't heard that from the
Okay.
applicant.
Okay,
I
I know it was mentioned about office. And I know your response, Kyle, was that brought up too at the Airport Commission?
Not
I know
about,
what you're saying about other airports and that, but my question is if that is a policy of the Airport Commission that, and I don't know that ever came up before.
it never
So I
came
don't
up.
know if- So I don't know if that was if it was brought up before the commission, that's
It,
all.
it wasn't brought up before the commission. I think prior to my, it must have been approved prior to me getting on the commission. And then, so it was basically, the approval was to move whatever was going to be done at the previous location to its new location. But there was no,
Okay,
no discussion on office spaces or storage of anything.
okay.
It's me again.
Good. Go ahead, Mr. Pemke.
I believe the one that brought the storage issue up was the gentleman, the contractor that we had in. I think his explanation was they just didn't want stuff on the floor so he could move his planes around. I think that was the comment on storage.
Yeah, that, anything that would be left on the ground potentially could be stored in the attic versus, so then they have much floor footprint for plane storage.
Yeah, okay, and that makes sense. I guess what went through my head was building materials or something like that, just, that type of materials. And that's where my question would be is if, that I would think would have to go to the commission. I would think anyway.
Yeah, no, there would have been no discussion of any of that. It sounds like with the number of planes, they need as much floor print as possible.
And just to be clear, if this hangar or any existing hangar were to want to put in an additional use, whether it be office or dwelling space or something, it would have to come back before Plan Commission for review and approval. Again, for new and existing hangars, if it's ever pursued by anyone.
Thank you. Anything further? Mr. Zerflu, Katna, or Coth?
We're good.
Okay,
I'm good.
sounds good. All right, seeing none. Everybody want to get ready to cast your ballots? Please cast your ballots. And then, Mr. Zerflu, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Koth
Aye.
and Mr. Katna.
All right.
Boy, that long pause there gave me. So motion carried, 6 ayes, 0 nays. Gets us to our last item on the agenda is adjournment. We have a motion by Bemke. Oh, let's,
Second.
Hold on.
I got going too quick here.
Okay, so motion by who?
Motion by Bemke,
Got it.
and the second was by who?
Zerflu.
Surplus.
Mr. Zerflu.
Got it?
Okay. Why don't we just do a voice vote?
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
All right.
Anybody opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.